Have you ever felt like you're doing everything you can, yet something invisible is holding you back? That money slips through your fingers, doors close, and life feels stuck, no matter how hard you try. Well, pay attention. In the next few minutes, you will discover a powerful prayer, revealed by Florence Scovel Shinn, capable of activating real miracles in your life. And it never fails. It's not a pretty phrase or an empty promise. It's a simple, direct, and practical spiritual code that people around the world have used to unlock blessings, multiply money, and completely transform the course of their lives. You'll understand why everything you ask for hasn't happened yet, and what needs to change in the way you speak, think, and pray so that the universe finally answers. This prayer isn't for those who hope something will get better one day. It's for those who want to change today, for those who are tired of fighting alone and want to see the impossible happen. If you feel you deserve more, that life has something great in store for you, this video will be the turning point. Stay with me until the end and feel what will happen within you. Each word you hear will begin to open paths, shift your energy, and prepare the ground for your miracle to work today. Comment on the word miracle if you're ready to activate yours now, because what comes next could be the prayer that changes everything. Now you understand the power you hold in your hands, a power capable of truly transforming your financial, emotional, and spiritual life. What you've heard here isn't theory, it's practice that works. This prayer has already opened paths, brought prosperity, and helped ordinary people achieve seemingly impossible results. And now it's your turn. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving messages and prayers that will keep this transformation alive within you. Each new video is a new key to expanding your faith, your mind, and your money. You started something big today. Keep nurturing this power. You know when you feel like you've tried everything but things remain stuck in the same place. You pray, you work, you think positively, you make plans, and yet it feels like something is blocking the flow of your life. It's as if there's an invisible barrier between you and what's rightfully yours. Prosperity, peace, stability, the relief of breathing without fear of tomorrow. Because that's where change begins. Because the problem was never the world, nor luck, nor the people around you. The problem is that no one taught you the true power of the words you speak every day. Every sentence that comes out of your mouth is a seed, and the universe only responds to what you plant with conviction. And this is where the first secret to activating the miracle in your life comes in, understanding that the word has creative power. When you say it's not possible, the universe understands that it's not meant to be. When you say it's hard, it confirms the difficulty. And when you repeat one day it will get better, you push your blessing into a future that never arrives. Words are commands, and the universe obeys them precisely. Florence Scovel Shinn said that your mouth is the steering wheel of life. You direct it where you want to go through your words. So if you constantly declare scarcity, fear, or doubt, it's like driving with the handbrake on. Nothing moves, no matter how hard you accelerate. And the strangest thing is that often the person doesn't even realize they're sabotaging their own miracle while praying. They ask for help, but in the next sentence they say, "I don't think that will ever happen to me." There you go. The request is cancelled before it even arrives. What changes everything is when you start speaking with faith as if you know what you're saying. It's not about repeating pre-made phrases. It's about speaking with certainty. True faith has a different vibration. It doesn't doubt, it doesn't hesitate, it doesn't ask for fear of not being heard. It confidently affirms, "Prosperity comes to me now." And the incredible thing is that when you speak like this, your mind begins to believe, your energy shifts, and the world around you begins to respond. Opportunities that previously seemed blocked begin to open up. Money that was stuck finds a way. The right people cross your path, because the universe understands the language of certainty. But for that to happen, you need to re-educate yourself. Start watching your words. Observe what you're saying about your life, your money, your future. And every time a phrase about scarcity comes up, replace it. It's practice. Instead of, "I can't," say, "Everything works together for my good." Instead of, "I don't have any money," say, "My money is on the way." It may seem simple, but that's exactly where the secret of miracles lies. Florence said, "There is no such thing as a wasted word. Everything that is said comes back, multiplied. And when you understand this, you begin to choose better what you plant. I know it seems strange at first. Your mind complains, saying it's a lie, that it's forced. But that's where active faith comes in. Faith isn't waiting to feel before believing. It's speaking and acting as if it's already real. It's persisting until your inner world changes and your outer world begins to follow suit. And the most powerful thing is realizing that this isn't magic. It's a spiritual law. Just as there's the law of gravity, there's the law of the word. What you declare with faith and emotion manifests. It's like pressing a button that the universe understands. That's why those who learn to use the right words with the right energy activate real miracles. And it's not a figure of speech, it's a fact observed in thousands of people. Think about it. How many times have you used your voice to complain, lament, or justify what's lacking? And how many times have you used it to declare victory, abundance, or success? Most people talk more about what they don't want than about what they desire. And that's exactly why their lives repeat the same pattern. The good news is that this can change now. From the moment you change your speech, the miracle begins to unfold. You don't need to see the result to believe. You need to believe to begin to see. And it's at this point that transformation begins to take shape. When you say, "I now receive the prosperity that belongs to me," something within you reorganizes. It's as if a new energy takes over your field. So starting today, a new chapter in your life begins. Every time you open your mouth, imagine you're signing a contract with the universe. Everything you say will be taken seriously. So choose your words carefully. They can be the push you need or the weight that keeps you stuck. Try it today. Spend the whole day avoiding negative words. Replace everything with statements of faith. Observe what happens. And when something works, and it will, comment below. Word. So I know you understand the power that is being released into your life now. And you know what's most interesting? When you start speaking with faith and notice that the environment responds, something much more profound happens. It's as if the universe is testing whether you truly believe what you say. And it's precisely at this point that many give up, because they haven't yet understood the second part of this secret. When you begin to change the way you speak, something powerful happens within you, and perhaps it's the first time you've realized it so clearly. The miracle doesn't come from outside. It's born within your mind, the moment you decide to truly believe it's possible. And this is where many people go wrong. They spend their entire lives praying for the world to change, but they continue to harbor the same thoughts that block everything. Money, love, luck, peace. None of these come when your mind is filled with fear and, doubt. It's like trying to plant flowers in dry soil. It's not the universe that ignores you. It's you who doesn't allow space for an answer to arrive. The first step to activating the miracle is to clear your mind, weed out the worries, and make room for faith to grow. The mind is a magnet. Everything you think about frequently becomes energy, and everything you feel you attract. So, as long as your mind is spinning around scarcity, debt, and worry, you'll be asking for more of the same. It's like a radio station. There's no point in wanting to listen to good music if you're still tuned to the lament channel. What Florence taught is simple, but powerful, and it works. When you change the vibration of your thoughts, the outside world begins to adjust naturally. And there's nothing mystical about this. It's a law. Energy follows focus. Life gives back to you what you transmit. So when you learn to think with faith, the miracle ceases to be something distant and becomes the logical result of your new mental state. And you know what's most incredible? Prayer is the tool that changes the energy field of your life. Many people think that praying is about repeating phrases or asking until you receive an answer. But the true power of prayer lies in aligning yourself with the frequency of certainty. It's when you speak to God or the universe from a place of peace, not despair. The prayer that never fails is the one that comes from within, spoken with feeling and confidence, as if you've already received. It's different from saying, "Lord, help me," while crying in fear, and saying, "Lord, thank you," because it's already done. The first request arises from lack, the second from faith. And that's what changes everything. When you pray with confidence, your vibration shifts, and the invisible begins to work for you. Florence used to say that faith is the bridge between the invisible and the real. And it's true. The spiritual world responds to certainty, not doubt. When you say with conviction, "Prosperity is on its way," The universe understands it as an order, and the most impressive thing is to see how well this works. Have you ever noticed that when you wake up feeling good, everything seems to flow better? You meet nice people, things work out, the day goes by smoothly. This isn't coincidence, it's energy. The same force that makes a good day happen is the one that attracts miracles, only on a much larger scale. Prayer, when said with true faith, is like a switch that changes the frequency of your life. Now the secret is to keep this energy burning even after praying. There's no point in asking with faith and, minutes later, returning to complaining, doubting, or fearing. It's like lighting a candle and then blowing it out. Prayer only continues to work when you maintain the vibration of certainty. Therefore, the true miracle begins when you understand that praying is believing, and believing is acting as if you already have it. It's not a play on words. It's a state of mind. Faith isn't a passing emotion. It's a stance you take toward life. When you hold this position, the impossible begins to give way. Doors that were locked for years open as if they had never been closed. And I know you've probably prayed a lot and seen no results, and that may have made you doubt, but now you understand that it wasn't the prayer that was failing, it was the energy that was wrong. You asked with fear, waited with anxiety, believed half-heartedly, and the universe only answers when you feel firm. From today on, you will pray differently. You will pray as if you know you've been heard. You will speak less with your mouth and more with your heart. And when you do, you will feel a subtle shift, a calm that can't be explained, a relief that comes from within as if something has finally begun to align. It's the miracle moving, even if you can't see it yet. So, I want you to take a deep breath and think about what you've been asking for so long. That thing that seems impossible, that you've tried 1,000 ways to solve but nothing has worked. Close your eyes for a moment and repeat mentally, "It is done." Let that phrase sink in. It has power. It's the language of faith. The invisible world understands it better than any other word. And from here on, what comes is even more profound, because when the energy begins to move, the universe also puts you to the test, to see if you're ready to receive what you asked for. Comment below. Faith. If you felt that something started to change inside you now that you understand the power of words and the role of true faith, there's something many people overlook, and it's precisely this that blocks the arrival of miracles. There's no point in declaring prosperity with your mouth and continuing to harbor resentment in your heart. There's no point in asking for abundance if inside you still carry anger, envy, guilt, or hurt, because every emotion is energy, and what you harbor within you transforms into a magnetic field that attracts or repels blessings. And that's why even with so much prayer, so many affirmations, and so much effort, many people remain stuck in the same place. The miracle tries to get closer, but encounters a heart full of blocks. It's like trying to turn on a light bulb with a cut wire. The energy exists, the light wants to shine, but it has nowhere to go. And this is where one of the most powerful spiritual laws that Florence Scovel Shinn taught comes in, the law of return. Everything you send out comes back. Every thought, word, emotion, or action is a seed that returns multiplied. When you judge, you are judged. When you criticize, you attract criticism. When you forgive, you make room to be forgiven. When you give love, love returns. And the same happens with money, with opportunities, with blessings. The universe has no shortcuts. It returns everything you send out. Therefore, if you want to prosper, you must start by clearing your field. And there is no spiritual cleansing more powerful than forgiveness. But let's talk about true forgiveness, not the kind where we say, "It's okay," just to disguise it. True forgiveness is liberating. It's when you let go of the pain and decide to no longer carry the weight that binds you to the past. And you know what's funny? Forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. Because as long as you keep someone trapped inside your anger, you're also trapped with them. It's like trying to walk while carrying a suitcase full of rocks. The body can handle it for a while, but eventually it gets tired. And that's exactly what prevents the miracle from happening. A heart tired of hurt, a body heavy with old emotions, a mind full of memories that only serve to keep you in the same place. The act of forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It's a declaration of strength. It's when you look at the pain and say, "You no longer control me." And in that moment, the universe understands that you are ready to receive. Because God, or the spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it, doesn't pour abundance into a heart full of poison. First, He cleanses, then He fills. And it's in this process that many give up, because it hurts to look within. But those who have the courage to forgive prosper, because forgiveness opens the channel of prosperity. It releases stagnant energy and allows the flow to circulate again. So think now, who or what is still holding you back? It could be a person, a situation, a guilt, even something you did and never forgave yourself. Whatever it is, decide today to let go. Not for them, but for yourself. Say out loud, I free myself. I release everyone and everything. This simple phrase is one of the most powerful decrees in existence, because when you let go, the universe understands it can now deliver something new to you. It's like opening a window after a long time of being locked. Air enters, light enters, and suddenly, everything seems lighter. And there's more. When you change your internal energy, the people around you change too. Those who treated you poorly begin to naturally distance themselves, and new connections begin to emerge. Opportunities that seemed impossible begin to appear out of nowhere. This is no coincidence. It's the law of return working in your favor. The same force that once returned pain now returns blessings, because the universe doesn't judge, it only responds. It is neutral. You decide what will return through what you feel and what you emanate. Therefore, the greatest spiritual investment you can make isn't in rituals or promises, it's in cleansing your inner self. And this cleansing begins with a simple act of honesty, looking within and recognizing where resistance still exists. When you heal what's stuck, life flows. When you release, money comes. When you forgive, your body improves. When you let go, miracles happen. This is why Florence said that abundance is natural and suffering is just a sign of blockage. The good news is that blockage isn't permanent. It dissolves the moment you choose to let go. So starting today, make a commitment to yourself. No longer let the energy of resentment dominate your field. Choose to be light even when the other person doesn't deserve it. Choose peace even when your ego wants to be right. Choose emotional freedom because that's what attracts true prosperity. Comment on the word liberation here if you're ready to let go of the past and make room for the new that's already arriving. And pay attention, because it's precisely after this cleansing that the universe begins to show you signs that something much greater is about to happen. Now that you've started to clear the field and understand the power of words and faith, comes the part that separates those who just dream from those who truly transform their lives. Act in faith, even without seeing the result. And this is where many people stop, because everyone wants to believe until they have to take the first step without guarantees, but it's precisely at that moment that the miracle begins to unfold. When you act as if you've already received it, the universe understands that you're ready to live what you asked for. It's an internal attitude that changes everything. It's when you stop waiting for the sign to act and start acting to create the sign. The truth is that true faith isn't emotion, it's behavior. It's easy to believe when everything seems to be going right. But true faith appears when nothing seems to make sense. It's waking up not knowing how the bills will be paid, but rising with a calm heart, trusting that the money will come. It's continuing to invest in your dream, even when no one believes. It's continuing to plant even without seeing the sprout emerge from the ground. Florence Scovel Shinn said that faith is a type of spiritual investment. You put energy into the invisible and reap what is visible. And that's how it is. First you feel within, then you see without. But many people want the opposite. They want to see to believe. But the universe doesn't work that way. It responds to trust, not doubt. Think about it. When a child learns to walk, they fall, stumble, get up and keep trying. They don't doubt they can do it. They simply know. And that's exactly the kind of faith you need to have. Because as long as you wait for certainty to act, life will remain stagnant. Miracles require movement. Prayer paves the way, but it's action that paves the way. When you pray for prosperity and the next day, take an aligned action, make a contact, accept an idea, change a routine, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Coincidences arise, the right people appear, doors that were previously closed open, and all this happens because you proved, through action, that you believe. But what happens to those who don't act? They get stuck in a cycle of unanswered prayers. It's like someone who asks for wind but never opens the window. And the curious thing is that the opportunity is often right in front of them, but they don't see it because they're too busy doubting. Faith and fear don't coexist in the same space. You either trust or you control. And the more you try to control, the more you block the flow. The true power of faith lies in letting go, in doing what you can and leaving the rest in God's hands. This is active surrender, the balance between doing and trusting. I know. You've probably taken steps and been disappointed. Maybe you believed and nothing happened. But understand, the universe doesn't work at the speed of your anxiety. It works at the frequency of your preparation. Every time you act in faith, even without immediate results, you send a spiritual message. I am ready. And this message is recorded, strengthened, until the day the return arrives. And when it arrives, it comes with force. It's like a harvest that was growing silently. Now, to keep this energy alive, you need to start acting like someone who already has it. Want prosperity? Start thinking and behaving like a prosperous person. It's not about spending what you don't have. It's about stopping acting like someone who lives in scarcity. Speak with conviction. Tidy up your environment. Organize your finances. Treat what you have with gratitude. Want love? Start treating yourself like someone who deserves to be loved. Want new opportunities? Wake up early. Prepare yourself. And act like someone who is already on the right path. The energy of action is a spiritual calling that the universe understands perfectly. And there's something Florence always repeated: faith without action is dead. And she didn't say it as a pretty phrase, she meant it literally. Because those who believe act, those who trust walk, and those who walk arrive. The miracle doesn't manifest while you're sitting around waiting. It comes when you show that you believe enough to move. And the most magical thing is that when you take the first step, the universe takes 10 steps back. It's as if an invisible force pushes you in the right direction. Doubt paralyzes, but faith moves, and life responds to those who move. So, look at your life now and ask yourself, in what area have I stopped taking action? Maybe it's the dream you put aside, the business you postponed, the project you shelved. Know this: the miracle you've been praying for is just waiting for you to take action. It doesn't have to be a big step. It needs to be a step of faith. Take that step today. And when something inside you says, now it's going to happen, comment on the word here. Action. So I know you got the message and started moving, because it's precisely at that moment that the universe starts to align the pieces you didn't even know existed. Now that you understand the power of acting in faith, there is a next step that completely changes the pace of what is happening in your life. Gratitude in advance. And I'm not talking about that automatic gratitude we repeat without feeling it, like, thank you for another day. I'm talking about a living gratitude, one that vibrates within you as if the miracle had already happened. This is one of the deepest secrets of those who achieve extraordinary results. Most people give thanks after receiving, but those who truly prosper give thanks beforehand. And that's what transforms everything, because when you give thanks in advance, you send a powerful message to the universe. I trust. And the universe responds generously to those who trust. Florence Scovel Shinn said that faith is the noun and gratitude is the verb. In other words, gratitude is faith in action. It's the sign that you truly believe, even without seeing it. When you give thanks for something that hasn't yet arrived, you're saying with your energy that it's already real, and the universe understands this as a command. It begins to adjust situations, people, and opportunities so that it becomes visible. And the most incredible thing is that the more you give thanks, the more reasons to give thanks appear. Life begins to return abundance at the same frequency you transmit. But it's important to understand, true gratitude doesn't come from a place of need. It comes from a place of certainty. It's looking at your empty account and saying, thank you, because my prosperity is already on its way. It's waking up without knowing what will happen, and still saying, thank you, because today everything works together for my good. This is mature faith. It's the faith that doesn't depend on proof. It's the faith that creates proof. And the more you practice, the faster the results appear. The energy of gratitude is magnetic. It changes the field around you, opens paths, dissolves resistance, and attracts the right people. Now think with me. How many times have you failed to give thanks because you were focused on what you don't yet have? How many times have you complained, compared, lamented, and not even realized you were nullifying the power of your prayer? A miracle isn't an emotional response. It's an energetic consequence. And when you vibrate in lack, the lack continues. When you vibrate in gratitude, abundance flows. It's a simple and direct exchange. So every morning and before bed, say out loud, "Thank you, because everything is working out for me." Even if it seems otherwise. Even if the situation hasn't changed yet. Because when you give thanks in the midst of the storm, the sky understands your trust and begins to clear the clouds. Gratitude is also an antidote to anxiety, because anxious people live in the what if, the when, the how, while grateful people live in the it already is, and those who live in the it already is easily attract. When you feel gratitude, you relax, and when you relax, the natural flow of blessings resumes. Nothing is more powerful than a peaceful and confident heart. And that's why grateful people are luckier. It's not luck, it's vibration. They're connected to the right flow. One of the simplest and most transformative practices is what Florence called diary of demonstrations. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for, even if they haven't yet materialized. For example, I'm grateful for the prosperity that's already manifesting. I'm grateful for the opportunity that's coming. I'm grateful for my healthy, energetic body. Writing is a way to materialize feelings, to give form to faith. And what you write with emotion becomes reality faster. Do this for 7 days in a row and notice what happens. It's almost impossible for something not to change. And it's important to remember, gratitude isn't passivity. It's not accepting anything and pretending everything is fine. It's choosing to see the side of trust, even when logic dictates otherwise. It's being grateful not because everything is perfect, but because you know everything is falling into place. When you live like this, fear loses its power, scarcity loses its ground, and you begin to feel a tranquility that comes from within, that feeling that somehow everything will work out. And it does. It always does. So now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and think of something that hasn't happened yet, but that you desire with all your heart. Take a deep breath and say out loud, "Thank you, because this is already mine." Let that phrase vibrate within you. This simple action can completely change what happens in the next few days. And when something starts to work out, and it will, comment on the word here, gratitude. So I know you understand the power that has just been activated within you, because it is precisely in this state of anticipated gratitude that the universe begins to prepare you for an even higher level of manifestation. And now comes the most powerful part of this whole journey, to total surrender. It's the point where you stop fighting life and begin to flow with it. Up until this point, you've learned to speak with faith, to cleanse your heart, to act and give thanks as one who has already received. But there's one last step, and it's what truly makes the miracle inevitable. Stop trying to control the outcome, because control is the greatest form of resistance there is. While you try to decide the when, the how, and the where, the universe's hands are tied. It can only act when you let go. Surrender isn't giving up. It's trusting that what you've planted is already being cared for. It's understanding that divine timing is perfect, even when your impatient self screams that it's taking too long. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that true faith is about resting. It's not about crossing your arms and waiting. It's about stopping the internal struggle. It's about silencing that voice that repeats, "What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose everything? What if I'm deluding myself?" Because every what if is an interruption in the frequency of manifestation. When you trust, you leave space for the miracle to work, and that's precisely why, often, results only come when you let go. It's like trying to make a boat move by pushing water with your hands. Effort doesn't make the boat move. It's the wind that moves it, and the wind comes when you stop fighting the current. Surrender is the most mature stage of faith. It's the moment when you understand you've already done your part. Thought right, spoke right, acted right, expressed gratitude, and now the rest is no longer up to you. It's like planting a seed. You don't need to keep digging to see if it's growing. You simply trust that, at the right time, it will sprout. And when it does, it's always stronger than you imagined. But many people destroy the harvest by constantly uprooting what they planted before its time. Anxiety, fear, and doubt are the birds that eat the seed of the miracle. Therefore, surrender is protection. It's letting the miracle grow without interfering. And you know what's most beautiful? When you let go, everything starts to flow naturally. Things that used to go wrong start to fall into place. People who held you back move away on their own, and what seemed stuck suddenly resolves itself effortlessly. This isn't a coincidence, it's divine synchronicity. When you stop trying to control, you allow the universe to work perfectly. The miracle doesn't need your strength. It needs your trust. It's like releasing the handbrake on life and letting it flow. And the curious thing is that when you surrender, the feeling is one of lightness. It's as if something inside you finally breathes in peace. Now, understand, surrendering isn't pretending you don't care. It's continuing to believe, but without tension. It's praying and then living as if you've already received. It's trusting the process, even when there's no sign. It's continuing to walk, even when you can't see the whole world, knowing the next step will appear at the right time. This is what activates the miracle, the calm of trust. When you reach this state, even time seems to work in your favor. Opportunities appear, answers arrive, and everything begins to conspire to take you exactly where you're supposed to be. Many people think surrender is a sign of weakness, but it's actually quite the opposite. Surrendering is the most powerful gesture of those who have understood the spiritual life. It's the moment you recognize that you don't have to carry everything alone, that there's a greater force guiding every detail, and when you allow this force to guide you, the path becomes lighter. Peace returns, your mind becomes silent, and your heart expands. You begin to see beauty even in things that once irritated you, because you understand that everything has a purpose. Surrendering doesn't make you lose control. It puts you in the right flow. So now I want you to do a simple test. Take that problem that's been keeping you up at night, the one you've been trying to solve for ages and nothing changes. Take a deep breath, close your eyes and say, I surrender, I trust, I release. Say it with meaning, and then observe. You'll begin to notice signs, coincidences, subtle movements that show something has begun to align. This is the universe saying, and now I can act. Surrender is the green light for manifestation, and the curious thing is that when you reach this point, something inside you changes forever. You stop chasing things and start attracting them naturally, because those who are at peace attract peace. Those who trust attract opportunities. Those who are grateful attract more reasons to be grateful. It's a chain reaction, and it is precisely in this state of surrender that the impossible becomes inevitable. Now you understand the power that was within you all along. Every word, every reflection in this video ignited something new: active faith, trust, the understanding that miracles don't come from outside. They are born within. And that's exactly what changes everything. Today you learn to speak with power, act with faith, give thanks with conviction, and deliver with confidence. This isn't just knowledge, it's real transformation. And when something within you changes, the world around you begins to respond. If this content resonated with you, opened your eyes and made you feel lighter, then spread that same light. Like and subscribe to the channel. That's how you help others find the path to miracles. Each like helps more lives receive this message and find hope. And to show that you are ready to live this new phase, comment here the word miracle. Because when you write, you declare. And declaration is the first step to manifestation. Now take a deep breath and feel it. What comes next is even stronger. In the next video, you'll understand why, after the miracle is activated, the universe begins to test you, and how to pass these tests without losing the blessing that's already on its way. Trust, because the best is yet to come.